We traded the Ice Truck Killer for the Bay Harbour Butcher. We traded Brian for Dexter. We have traded Season 1 for Season 2. And while we rank these episodes, we will be saying goodbye to Mr. Sergeant Dokes, who unfortunately didn't make it out of this season. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We're putting Dexter 2 behind us. We're moving on to Season 3. And it is time to do it with our ranking episode video of all 12 episodes from Season 2. Now, was Season 2 better than Season 1? I think it was very close. Not a lot in it. Pretty much 50-50 in my opinion. But we can definitely separate these episodes. There were some really good episodes and only one bad episode, as 11 out of the 12 got a rating of at least 7 out of 10 and above. So we will begin the list with the lowest ranked and the only, quote, bad episode of this season. In 12th place, we have episode 6. This one was Dex, Lies, and Videotape. Not much happened in this episode. We got a new copycat killer who was mimicking the Bay Harbour Butcher due to being inspired by Dexter. And Rita found out that Dexter had slept with Lila on his road trip. She broke up with Dexter and this pushed him into the arms of the crazy English woman. We gave it a 5.5 out of 10. I noticed Internet Movie Database gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Perhaps were we too low on our rating? Possibly, but I do believe this was the worst episode of Season 2.
But yeah, Dexter's got bigger problems though to fry if this is only the worst episode. I mean, 5.5 out of 10 being the worst, considering the rest are above a 7. You can deal with this, Dexter. We're not going to end up in the kill table for that, are we?
No, I don't think he's got it. He'll let us live, I think. Now, coming in at number 11, we have the opening episode of the season, episode 1. It was It's Alive, the season 2 premiere. Dexter surprisingly found himself unable to kill, and this actually led to Little Chino, or should I say Big Chino, escaping the kill tables. Not often you see that with Dexter, and Deborah was unable to return to work, but that's kind of acceptable considering what happened in Season 1 with the Ice Truck Killer. We give this a 7 out of 10. Coming in at 10th place, Episode 5, The Dark Defender. So, yeah, this is an interesting episode. Dexter was on his little road trip with Lila. She urges him to confront his mother's killer, and he does that, and we actually see Dexter do it without killing Jimenez, even though it did set up a future confrontation with them in later episodes. We give this, again, a 7 out of 10. Any thoughts on The Dark Defender?
I like the action figure analogy in it. I liked the wee beginning. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, someone re-imaging Dexter as a superhero or some sort of like character from a book.
Anti-hero.
Anti-hero, I think, is more like it. Coming in the 9th place, we have episode 4. This one is called See-Through. Rita is threatened by Lila, obviously, after finding out that Dexter's new sponsor is some hot chick, and Dexter tries to throw FBI agent Lundy off his bloody trail. We also got introduced to the bodies, and Dexter ended up kind of exposing the bodies to heat, and it ruined them. It kind of just melted all the bodies, and a lot of the evidence was fucked. But Masuka had the rocks, if you remember that. So
I've got the rock.
It's all about the rock. It's all about Dwayne Johnson. We gave that a 7 out of 10 as well. Moving into number 8, we have episode 2. This one was called Waiting to Exhale. Dexter followed up his kill attempt on Little Chino, and this time he got the job done. And we got the new FBI agent Lundy arriving to Miami to investigate this serial killer, which is obviously the Bay Harbour Butcher. So the Bay Harbour Butcher case was coming along nicely here. We also gave this a 7 out of 10. Right, moving into 7th place, we have an 8 out of 10 episode. This was episode 3, An Inconvenient Lie. So in this one, we had Rita finding out about Dexter's drug problem, or the lack of a drug problem that he's made up in order to try and hide where he goes at night. And we also meet Lila in this episode. We get introduced to the crazy woman who later becomes Dexter's sponsor and girlfriend. So, yeah, this is probably season 2 beginning to heat up a little bit, and Dexter's lie is beginning to spin out of control.
The afterburners have been turned on. Interestingly enough, no episode got a 7.5 then.
No. Coming in at 6th place, we have episode 8. This one is Morning Comes, and what I noticed was the first 6 episodes were in our bottom half, and the last 6 episodes were in our top half, so it goes to show that the second half of season 2 was definitely better than the first half. But yeah, morning comes. Dexter, pretty much in this episode, decides that Lila is becoming too attached and it isn't really working for him, and he kind of needs to separate from her a little bit. He also visits his mother's killer, and he takes care of Jimenez once and for all. And we get Deborah and Lundy finding out a little bit more about the Bay Harbour Butcher, and clues that could mean that he is right under their nose, aka a member of their department. I think this was a good episode, Morning Comes.
It was a good episode, Morning Comes, and yeah, I think Dexter's definitely got a trend. Early days of the second half of the season being better than the first half, which I think should be the way. First half should be introducing everybody, second half should be getting down to the good stuff.
Coming at number 5, we have episode 7, That Night a Forest Grew. So, again, this episode was centred around the written manifesto that Dexter had created from the Bay Harbour Butcher in order to try and get Lundy off his tail. I mean, it almost worked. It got the department looking in a different direction. So Dexter, he's always one step ahead. And it was another really solid episode. It was a good way to start the second half of this season. Coming in at number 4, we have episode 10, There Is Something About Harry. This, I thought, was a great episode. We get the aftermath of Dokes versus Dexter. Dexter is imprisoning Dokes in a cage. He doesn't know what to do with Dokes. He doesn't want to kill him, but at the same time he knows that if he lets Dokes go, then his world's going to come crumbling down and everybody will know that he is indeed the Bay Harbour Butcher. So yeah, for me, this was a good episode, a really good episode. We did get Dokes escaping. Dexter brought him back though. Dokes almost getting away, but not quite. And yeah, for me, the chemistry between Dokes and Dexter, I think in the last few episodes of this season was fantastic. And we get to see a real side of Dexter, and only Dokes has really seen that so far in this show. I would not even Brian Moser, I think, seen that.
No, he didn't, and seeing Dokes and Dexter collide is brilliant. That's exactly what you want to see. It was box office stuff.
Box office stuff. Coming in at number 11, though, we have Left Turn Ahead. So, and again, another good episode with Lila attempting to blackmail Dexter in this one, but Dexter isn't having it. She ends up stealing his navigator from the car, and she turns up at the cabin where Dexter has got Dokes. Dexter also giving himself up. He just tells Dokes that he needs one more day to put things in place. We see him that night then having a couple of drinks, having some steak with Deborah. He also confesses to her in Dexter's own imaginary way, and we get to see like 4 or 5 different outcomes of how Deborah reacted to Dexter being the Bay Harbour Butcher, which I thought was some very good scenes. We're now moving into the top 2. We give both of these episodes a 9 out of 10. You look at Internet Movie Database, and they've got both of these episodes in the 9 category as well. One's 9.2, one is 9.3. But coming in second place, we're going to go with the finale, the British invasion. So at the very beginning of this, Lila essentially kills Dokes. We then get the investigation, the search for Dokes. We find Dokes in little bits of pieces, and Dokes is not only dead, but he's also pretty much confirmed as the Bay Harbour Butcher. Dexter feels bad, but I guess not too bad, and he says he needs to go on living his life, and he can't let Dokes die for nothing. We see Lila then attempt to take Dex out. After he tries to kill her, she tries to set him on fire, burn down Rita's kids, before she makes her escape back to, I believe, Francais, where she travels to, Paris. Dexter, at the end of the episode, after escaping the burning building, thanks to Deborah, he tracks Lila down and kills her and puts her out of her misery. And this was the last kill of the season before we get a little funeral for Sergeant Dokes as well. So, yeah, great ending there to the season. And then coming in at first place, Episode 9, Resistance is Futile. And I thought it was great when they bring in Dexter and you believe that they're going to get him here. You believe they're going to pin the Bay Harbour Butcher case on his ass. They whip out the slides. Everybody who's important. You've got Lundy in there, Captain Matthews. Pretty much all the top dogs are waiting, and they sit Dexter down. He's surrounded by everyone, but much to his belief, they believe that Dokes is indeed the Bay Harbour Butcher. We also see Dokes go to Hayate to try and get his slides analysed, the blood slides, and Lila, who's just recently been dumped by Dexter, isn't giving up as she is now pursuing Angel. And we just got so much shit done in this episode. Deborah and Lundy also became an official couple. And, you know, it was great. The whole thing with Dexter sitting down, you believe that Dexter's been caught. And it's just Dokes that's been caught instead. So, yeah, fantastic episode. Right at the end of it as well, we have Dokes who finally tracks down Dexter as he's dumping more bodies into the harbour. And Dokes reveals that he now knows that, Dexter, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher. Oh shit. Fuck. You said that already. So yeah, I mean, that was a great reveal there. Then they get into a bit of a scuffle. Dokes shoots Dexter. Dexter manages to choke out Dokes and he captures him. But yeah, no, the reveal I thought was fantastic. And this might just be the best episode of Dexter when everything's said and done. Is it the best episode for the first 2 seasons? We've ranked it as the best episode of season 2. Is it better than anything in season 1? It might very well be. Anyway, guys, that is our list. That is us ranked all the season 2 episodes of Dexter. We've got season 3 coming up soon. Make sure you check out the channel for that. We've got reviews, we've got theories, and then come the end of the season, we will have all these lists ranked. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.